Hey YouTube, this is the fourth time I've made this video, so I hope I get it right this time. We've had all sorts of problems. This is my bug out bag. It's a Black Hawk battle bag. It's a very, very good bag, but I'm not here to do a review on the bag. I'm here to continue with what's in my bug out bag. So let's have a look. I'll put that to one side. And some of the things that we have include the Black Hawk canteen, which I usually put water in and refill that water every couple of days to make sure that it's clean and clear. So you've got to have water. That's one of the first necessities. And the second necessity obviously is whiskey. That's right. But you should never give whiskey to someone suffering from hypothermia, because the alcohol will cause their blood vessels to dilate and they'll lose heat faster if they drink alcohol. But they might die with a smile on their face. So, you know, it's worth, for medicinal purposes only, let's say. Okay, so there's the water and the whiskey. All right, let's have a look at some of the tools. A lot of this is inspired by Nut and Fancy. Here we've got a little crowbar, door jimmy to open doors or windows. It's pretty small. I don't know how useful it's going to be, but it's there. It's something in case we need it. So that could be a very useful tool if you're trapped inside a room and you need to get out a window or out a door. Obviously in Hong Kong we all live in high rises, so getting out a window could be quite problematic. Alright, another tool, multi-tool. Now you've got to remember, these things are really cheap in Hong Kong. Come over to Hong Kong and I'll show you these little dollar shops. This has got a spanner, it's got a saw, it's got a knife, it's got a pair of scissors, it's got just about everything, kitchen sink. What's the quality like? Not very good, but then again, you know, this is only a 72-hour bag. Hopefully it would last longer than 72 hours, we hope. Anyway, so there's the tool there. I won't even call this a Leatherman, it's just another multi-tool, very, very cheap. It's got a screwdriver on it, and this, I think it would break if you try to use it, but once again, it's a comfort knowing that I've got it. Alright, communications. I always carry around 2 Motorola walkie-talkies. Even though it says on the box that they cover some huge, you know, kilometers and kilometers worth of coverage, unfortunately the truth is that it's not very far at all. But I carry 2 of these. Once again, it's a Nut and Fancy idea that, you know, you may not be by yourself and you may need to coordinate with somebody else. If you're searching out an area or something like that and you need to communicate, having 2 walkie-talkies will allow you to communicate easily. So I always carry these around as well. Now, let me see. With communication. Yeah, okay. So this is my very high frequency marine radio. Now you do need a license to use these in most countries, but it's not difficult to get. Usually it's quite an easy course to do, and then it lasts a day or something like that, maybe longer. Then you sit for your exam and you can use a very high frequency radio. Marine radio, these will let you contact passing vessels and also port authorities and things like that. Now in somewhere like Hong Kong, that's obviously very useful in a survival type situation. So they're the communication devices that we have. Now in my last video you saw that I had a lot of medical supplies. I continue on with the idea of medical supplies. We've got more wraps, we've got bandages, we've got stop bleed, which you spray into the wound and it causes the blood vessel to coagulate and stops the bleeding, though you do need to be careful with this sort of stuff. And I've also got something as simple as band-aids. Now I've heard a lot of people call these boo-boo kits. Alright, if that's the term you want to use, go for it. I don't like it myself, but I think it's important to have one, and having some band-aids will stop little minor cuts and scrapes turning into something far worse. So worth having. You've got to keep basic hygiene and basic health up. I strongly believe that. So every bug out bag should have one of those. Now what I've got left are just little odds and sods, bits and pieces. I've got a whistle, obviously, to draw attention. Very, very useful. I've got wire. Once again, this is a nut and fancy idea. He said it's an intuitive thing that needing wire. I suppose this is thin enough. It could be used in snares and things like that. So wire is pretty useful. You might need to, put something back together again as well. So keeping some wire at hand is probably a good idea. I've also got some tape. All right. This has got 101 uses. So very, very useful. I think most people have this in their bag anyway. So there's the tape. I also keep a pair of gardening gloves. I've got better gloves than these, but these are just a pair of cheap gloves. If I'm doing manual work, you want to keep your hands as injury-free as possible, and gloves will help that a great deal. I've also got a raincoat, a poncho, keep yourself dry, which is important as well. Speaking about keeping yourself dry, I have a lighting source. Okay, little blowtorch there, it looks like, and I also carry with that some alcohol prep pads. Obviously that'll help you start a fire a lot faster. Alright, more batteries. I've got a knife sharpener, obviously very important to have a knife sharpener, and I have a spare compass. Some more pandemic influenza preparedness kits that I think I'm becoming obsessive about, and just a pair of scissors. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and feel free to leave the comments. See you, bye.